Hello, all. This is the growth marketing team, and we are going to be discussing some of the processes that we are experimenting with to put in place to help everybody get their deliverables out quicker. So I'm going to share my screen quickly so that I can walk through what I have put in place. And so a few things to note that I kind of said before is this stuff is like the first step in trying to get these processes in place. So we might run into a few road bumps. Please give me feedback and we can adjust as needed. The other thing is that this right now is set for our team as leads, and it's not supposed to interrupt the processes that you guys have on your individual teams. So the first thing I did is we have a growth marketing handbook page, and on the top, per Danielle, one of the things that I wanted to call out was kind of this communication overview. So this page is more written for people that are going to be working with us than us. But for right now, it's a good resource for the way the process has been set up. So when people submit issues, it goes through like what they can expect. It shows like the assignees, timelines will be given. Something that's important, I think, from our side is, and I will be doing this as much as I possibly can, is that when somebody submits an issue, even if somebody on your team doesn't have time to put in a timeline or a next set of deliverables, if they could at least just comment an issue and say, like, this has been seen, I will get back to you in a week with more information. That I think will help ease people's nerves when it comes to if something is going to come on a certain delivery date. In the meantime, I'm going to be going through the issues and saying like, hey, this information is not at a place where we can give this over to, say, the design team. And hopefully, Erica, like we can talk about this a little bit more over into content. I'm starting with the design team to try to get those issues under control, because I know you guys get so many of them and there's a lot of misinformation that if it was in the issues, they would be able to be signed and deliverables given much quicker. So the next thing on here is the boards that I've created. So on here, I've made two boards. I've made a triage board and a sprint board. So the triage board here is just anything that'll have the marketing growth label and marketing status triage. And those labels will come in automatically on the templates that we're going to be creating. So the idea is that people don't have to add labels to things because they, as Shane, as you know, it's a big, hill to get over with trying to remind people to put on labels. So in here, I'm just going to make sure that they are they're in the triage stage, and then I'm just going to move them to work in progress or blocked. And so work in progress means they pretty much have the information that's needed for the next stage, and blocked means they haven't provided enough information. So if they put in a design request with no messaging, no due dates, no asset specs, I'm going to block it. I'll comment to them and say like, hey, please add these things in. That way your team doesn't even see it at this time. Then once something goes into this work in progress, then we can start putting it into a sprint week. So this way you guys will be able to quickly see what is in this week that we need to accomplish. So for example, with the account-based marketing issues I just put in, they had a few different things they needed to be blocked. Some of them needed to be put in one place, and like I kind of looked through all of them and I was like, oh, okay, the information from the original issues has changed. So I redid all of that information and put them in different sprint weeks so that it's not all just like, we need this right now, right this week. And this, I think for right now, this is not going to be the ideal process because we have a lot of old issues. We have a lot of things that we need to fix. We're getting the templates done, but this is what we will have ideally. So for the next few weeks, I'll probably be in all of these. And then I started a master epic for marketing growth production. So in here, I put some things that I found. Shane, if you want to add some other things that Brandon and Luke were doing, I put like Brandon's workflow issues in here just so it's all in one place. And then the handbook updates, if we could put everything under this sub epic, it'd be really great because we can see everything that's happening. For example, Shane, yours I just put under here, but didn't, you have your brand and marketing handbook updates under the growth marketing handbook updates. And then finally, the growth marketing templates. So this one is going to be a lot of conversations back and forth with your teams, because I need to understand what information you guys need and what templates exist already. So for this, I broke it down into the MVCs and into these separate little issue templates. So for this one here, I'm just pulling out issues that I see problems with, or would be great to understand like what people needed more so we could make a template out of it. And then you guys have seen these right here, just for updating the templates. The ideal stage for these is that we have labels automatically going on things, and then we have templates that we give to people outside of growth marketing, so that those are high level asks, because they tend to not know what they need at a like a specific level for what we are asking for. And then on your teams, you guys can have templates for things with very specific items, so that you don't have to recreate those every single time you go to make an issue. And we're going to try to start breaking stuff up, so one issue is pretty much like one task, or something a little bit more quicker. Because even if we have like, okay, if you have like 12 things, if it's all on one issue, it seems like it takes a really long time to get done. But if we do it as a little epic with individual issues, you can be knocking those issues out. And then people can see the progress without the due date moving constantly. They can see like, oh, well, 4 of the issues have been closed out, so I know that the project is moving forward without even more communication having to go into it. So I think that is it for right now. Danielle, do you have any more questions before we stop this portion?
No, I think it's great, but maybe we'll just do the question, any other questions people have on the video, so that if they are common questions other people watching we have them here. Does anybody have questions for Becky on how to do this?
I might have missed it. That if we have feedback on the process, gaps or common questions that are popping, where might we post those? Is there a place to?
I think the best place for you to put those would be in that production epic. If it's something that's specific to one of the sub epics, like for example, I made a sub epic for templates and a sub epic for handbooks, you can put the questions in there. But as a process overall, I think the main parent epic is the best way to give those to me.
Okay, great. Thanks.
I have a question that I've kind of brought up before. Maybe we still don't have any answers, but the entire editorial team works in the GitLab.com project, because that's where we publish blog posts. So something I'm thinking about, and we probably should think about it as a group with this process, is, are we okay with that? Do we need to move that? Is there a way to fold that work into our growth marketing boards? It's a process that works pretty well the way it is, so I'd be hesitant to change it. But I also don't love the fact that like a part of my team's work is not going to show up on our growth marketing board. So we can talk more about this, but I just want to raise it because this progress looks great, and there's just a chunk from my team that's going to be missing at this point.
And Erica, just to make sure that we all understand, this is because you want to be able to make an MR directly to GitLab.com, and you can't, if you're inside of a sub project or a sub folder, I think that flow breaks. Is that correct?
Exactly. It's just a really nice workflow for them to go from issue to merge to publish and follow that whole process through.
And the same pattern applies to digital as well.
Yeah, right now I'm experimenting with the labels, and I have these at the marketing level, but maybe we need to make them universal, as long as I don't know the exact process for that. Maybe talking to marketing ops, because then we could pull them in much easier.
Yeah, if you can create, you should have permissions, and if you don't, I can give them to you. You should be able to create labels at the top level. That's also where the milestones, by the way, live, the like weekly milestone, just because I found that was the only way that everybody can work together. So it might be similar. But maybe I think that the big takeaway from that question is just we want to make sure all the work is visible somehow. So whatever we do, it just needs to kind of accomplish that, is what I think. That sounds like that's the main ask, right, Erica?
Yeah, just that we're not missing my team's work, and it also sounds like that, you know, the website team might want to work similarly, or is, because they're also publishing to the website.
Sure. Let me get together with you guys on those, and we can mess around with some of the labels and permissions to make sure that that's working properly.
Becky, to add to your list, I just discovered that I think we may also be responsible for the docs project. So we should add that to the scope of that conversation too.
Okay, sounds good.
Still learning. Any other questions for Becky on this process? Everyone feel like they know what they would need to do to start using this?
Yeah, and I just want to note that my item on the discussion here has been answered via this, so we don't need to cover it.
Great. Well, I guess my only other item is not related to this, so let me stop the video recording.